So obviously with the disappointment of losing last week's game against Baldock Town due to the weather, obviously we tried to pursue it, getting put on the AstroTurf out the back, which was fine for last season, but all of a sudden this season it seems to be a problem. So we missed Saturday, and instead we used the wonderful facility out the back to get a really good session into the players, and it's actually probably helped us in the end, because a few of them will now be back fully fit now, ready for the next few games, which is going to be really important. So Tolu completed a full training session last week. That was 2, so he completed 1 Thursday, 1 Saturday. Ethan Creary did the same. We've got Benji Crilly back. So going into Saturday, there'll be a few disappointed faces, subject to everybody getting through tonight without any issues or without any problems. So that's good for us. And like I said before, we've got Cole Knox. We think could be on the horizon to returning. His shoulder scans come back, and it's not as bad as we first feared. So we think that could be, he's had an injection, and he could be available for selection towards the tail end of this year. So like I've said to the group a million times, we've now got 4 goalkeepers fighting for 1 jersey, and all over the pitch now will be a situation where everybody's under pressure. So it doesn't matter what you did last season, doesn't matter what you did the season before, it doesn't matter how well you've done 6 games ago. The best players now will play. The best 11 each week that gives us the best chance of winning start the game, and then obviously the best 16 will make up the squad per week. So there'll be some disappointed faces come every single week, but that's just the nature of football. That's the nature of anything, any competition in life. You have to be at the best at where you are at that moment in order to earn every single minute. And there will be a few surprises, I'm sure, when the team sheet goes out on Saturday. But good, I like surprises. Everyone loves a surprise, especially this time of year with Christmas on the horizon. So, like I said to a few players, they've had a few warnings over the last few weeks to liven up in the nicest possible way, and 1 or 2 have heeded that warning, and 1 or 2 haven't. So there will, as I said, there's going to be some real fierce competition for places, but that puts us in a much better place. Without being disrespectful, early part of the season and even up until recently, the squad has been stretched. We've had to ask players to play out of position on too many occasions. The depth of the bench hasn't been what I wanted it to be. Hopefully now, unless we have a catastrophic night full of injuries, we go into Saturday against St Panteleimon with a much healthier squad, which can only be good for us. So I was very vociferous with my criticism post the St Panteleimon game earlier in the season. To go in at half-time 1-1 with them down to 10 men, despite my warnings at half-time, we never really kicked on in the second half and gave away a really basic second goal, which put them on the ascendancy. And what we do know with St Panteleimon is they're a very creative side. They handle the ball very well. They're a very expansive group. If you stand off them and allow them space and time to play, they've got players that can pull you apart. They've got players there that are way higher than the level suggests, rather. So it's going to be a real tough game. Last season we lost 1-0 out here to a penalty, and I thought it was one of our best performances of the season, especially in the second half, and we sort of peppered them and just found their goalkeeper in outstanding form, which unfortunately couldn't find the breakthrough. So in 90 minutes they've become a real nemesis for us, St Panteleimon, and one that we're going to have to put to bed on Saturday, because, as I said, they've got threats all over the pitch, and they've got real quality. So it's one of those games, the old adage, 99.9% concentration, 100% failure, really does endear itself to the game on Saturday. But we go into it obviously in a much better space ourselves. We've got depth there. We've got what I would say now your best players coming back into fruition, which is good. And hopefully, like I said, it'll be a really good crowd on Saturday, and the weather's kind to us and allows us to try now and kickstart our season. It's been very stop-start, momentum, lack of fixtures. Haven't really been able to get 3 games in a week, like we had do sort of early parts of last season. We've now got to, like I said, we've got to find a way. We've got to work hard together, get through it together. We've had a little bump in the road, a little bit of a sticky start, but there's loads of football left to play. We're not even in December yet. So what we have got to do though is make sure that we're not standing here going, there's still loads of football in January, being miles off the pace. So we know we got to go some and then some again if we want to be up there challenging to get out of this division. It's one game at a time. The most important thing we have to do now is find a way to win on Saturday, and they don't come much tougher than St Panteleimon. So a game I'm very much looking forward to. I'm sure the players are, and one that we're hopeful come 5 o'clock on Saturday we'll be celebrating 3 points.